Hello, this is going to be a tutorial for framing your windows in your shed. I went ahead and framed one already. You can see those new components in white on my shed. Um, I used our dimensions drawings found on your curriculum to cut these windows out as close to 3 feet 6 inches from the exterior edge as I could get. My window is actually 3 feet and change, a little more than what our specifications ask for. And for this tutorial and for our purposes, we're going to deviate for the first time from our specification sheet. And we're just going to put the window where it's convenient for us. Normally, we would not do that. What I also did here was I made a type of window framing. I believe it's called a split jack framing style. Let's see if I can find where I Googled that. I did this first one here with split jacks. The jacks are the studs that run vertically up to support the header of your window opening. And I learned that some jurisdictions this does not meet code. So for the second window that I'm going to cut over here in this tutorial, and what you can do on yours when you're following along is you can make the same ones that I'm making, or if you wanted to do a little exploring for your other windows, you can try some of the other types of window framing opening options. I just Googled framing a window to find these examples, but we're going to use this first image here to model our window framing that we're going to do. Another thing that I found, and I'll post on Google Classroom, was this great YouTube video for framing a window. This guy goes through it at an actual job site and he frames a window that looks like this. I watched this. I thought he did a great job explaining it using a lot of the same vocabulary terms that we have. But enough yapping. Let's frame our second window and let's figure out where it's going to go first. So this is I'm using the scene view with the window on the left-hand side. All right, and we're putting the window in, so that makes sense. If we're looking on our right-hand side, there's a double wall stud corner here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 wall studs in. This wall stud is going to get cut out for our window opening, much like this one is. So again, from the corner, it's going to be 1, 2, 3. This is going to be our wall stud that's going to have to go. All right. When you click on yours, you might have all of this entire wall selected because that was made a component. You can just go into explode, okay? And then once you click that button, you can click on the blue sky and then click on this singular piece of wall stud. And then I would like you to click on make unique because we're going to end up deleting it, and I don't want you to delete your entire wall, okay? Before I delete this, I'm going to grab my measuring tool, my measuring tape, and I'm going to create some guidelines for myself so that I can, not be bringing my my new lumber up into outer space. So the first thing I want to do is from the center point of my stud that's going to go, I'm going to draw a line down, and I'm going to bring it down to about 1 foot 6 inches, okay? And I'm going to click a dot. And then once you have that dot there, you can bring that perpendicular out to the edge, and you can get a guideline like the one that I have here that was already created for my other window. This is going to be the start of your window opening, all right? You're going to put your header up above that guideline, and you're going to put some top window cripples up above it as well, okay? The window itself, we're going to use a 2 foot by 3 foot window. So it's going to be 3 feet tall by 2 feet wide. So we're going to measure from that point down. We're going to go down 3 feet. Okay, that's 36 inches. All right, hit enter. And then again, you can go from that dot over to the side to get your dotted line to show that that's the guideline for the opening of the window. And then kind of like on this one over here, that's the guideline that you just made for the top of the window opening. You're going to want to make another guideline that's going to be 4 inches below that, because that's going to be the places where you're going to put your window sill, and you're going to put your bottom, and below that you'll have your bottom cripple stud. That's this component right here. My mouse is kind of acting up. Let's see. So let's go over here. We're going to pan back over to the all stud that we're going to delete, and we're going to add that dimension line 4 inches from the bottom of the window opening. I already have it there from the other one, but you would use your measuring tape tool, and you'd click on the center point of that stud and draw a line down the center 4 inches to get that point, and then you can drag that guide point over to the edge perpendicular to get the guideline for the bottom of your 2 window sills and the top of your bottom wall stud cripple. Okay. So now now that we've got our guidelines, we can use our white arrow tool, and we can click on that stud and we can click delete. See you later. You've served your purpose well. Now I'm going to kind of pan my shed so I can see the floor, so I can see this sill plate, and I'm going to zoom in on that piece right here, and I'm going to draw a rectangle to make my window jack. The window jack, let's see if I find that one again. The window jack stud goes from the sill plate up to the header of your window opening. So we're going to draw this piece of lumber, and then we'll make a copy and drag it over to the other side. So I'm going to use my rectangle tool, and drawing on the sill plate on that corner edge, we're going to draw a rectangle that's going to be 4 inches, 2 inches. And then we're going to use our push-pull tool to pull that up. And again, we're going to pull it up to that guideline that we drew up here for the top of the window opening in the bottom of the header. All right. Once you've extruded or pulled that component up, that piece up, we're going to use our white arrow key to triple click on it. 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to right click to make it a component. And again, we're going to call that the window jack stud. Oh, I've already named that on my other window, so I'll just call that window jack too. But you can call it window jack. All right. So now I'm going to grab this corner of the bottom so that I can move it over and make a copy of it and connect to this corner right here. So it's still selected on all 3 dimensions. It's its own component. I'm going to use the move tool, grab this corner and hold down my control key on my keyboard, and then click and drag that over to this corner right here. Make sure that those 2 are flush, and then we should be good to go. All right. So now we've got our 2 what is this called? This is called the window jack stud, and it's flush with the original wall stud that they call a king stud. All right, the next thing I want to do is draw this cripple stud in the center here that's going to be shorter, and it's going to be supporting the sills that we're going to put in underneath.